Hello, children. This is one of the most important and moving portions in the Torah. Moshe prays and pleads with God to let him enter the land of Israel. Why does Moshe ask for mercy and not for justice? After all, he does so many good things for the Jewish people. The sages teach us that the righteous always ask for mercy, not for merit. They know that everything is kindness from God. Moshe did not say to God, "I deserve it," but rather, "Please, grant it to me as a free gift." Moshe says to God, "I have begun to see how great and mighty you are. I want to see more." And what does Moshe ask for? Moshe wants to see the Holy Land of Israel. He wants to see Jerusalem and the magnificent Lebanon. But what is God's answer? "Enough for you. Do not speak to me any more about this matter. That's enough for you. Do not continue to ask about this." I'll tell you that Moshe prayed to God 515 prayers. If so, why did God tell him to stop praying? Because if Moshe, our teacher, had prayed one more prayer, God would have accepted his prayers and would have had to let him enter the land. Let me remind you why God did not let Moshe enter the land. Because of what happened at the waters of Meribah when Moshe struck the rock instead of speaking to it. God, who is all-merciful, tells Moshe to go up to the top of the peak and look, lift your eyes westward, northward, southward, and eastward, and see the land of Israel, for you will not be able to enter it. God showed Moshe all of the land of Israel from the top of Mount Nebo. Moshe sees the entire Holy Land, from north to south, from east to west. Now Moshe goes back and reminds the Jewish people of the 10 Commandments they received at Mount Sinai. Why does he repeat them? Because he wants the new generation to remember that great moment. Moshe tells the Jewish people, God spoke with you face to face, like a father speaks with his young son. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, from the house of slavery. This is the first commandment, you shall have no other gods before me. Only God is the Lord, and there are no other gods. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. It is forbidden to swear in God's name, even about true things. Keep the Shabbat day to make it holy. Honor your father and your mother, so that your days may be long. This is the only commandment among the 10 commandments that promises a reward. Why? Because honoring parents is the hardest thing for children. So God encourages us with a special promise, unlike the other commandments. Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not bear false witness, and do not be envious. And now we come to the most famous part of the portion. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. This is the most well-known verse in Judaism. What does Shema mean? It doesn't just mean to listen with your ears, but to understand, accept, and put it into practice. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. We need to love God with all our heart, our soul, and our possessions. We must always teach our children Torah at home, on the way, before going to sleep, and when we wake up in the morning. In the Shema passage, the commandment of putting on tefillin is also mentioned, and you shall bind them as a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as ornaments between your eyes. This teaches us where the tefillin should be placed on the arm and on the head. And you shall inscribe them upon the doorposts of your house and your gates. From here we learn that a mezuzah should be placed at the entrance of the house. Now Moshe goes on to tell the people about the wonderful land they are about to enter. The land of Israel is such a special land. It has 7 species, the 7 most important types of food that grow in the land of Israel. In the land of Israel, there will be no hunger. You will have everything, but Moshe warns the Jewish people and says, remember to recite grace after meals after eating bread, as it is said in the verse, and you shall eat and be satisfied, and bless the Lord your God for the good land he has given you. After eating and being satisfied, you must bless and thank God. Now Moshe goes on to warn the people about a great danger. What is the danger? Forgetting God. How could that happen? Yes, it can happen. A person gets used to receiving everything. Life is good for him, and suddenly he forgets who gave him everything. It doesn't happen all at once, but rather it's a slow process. A person starts out poor and humble. Then God blesses him. He has a beautiful house, herds, and money. He starts to feel strong and independent, and then he forgets. He begins to think, my own strength and the power of my hands have made me all this wealth. My power and courage brought me all this success. That's a big mistake. It is God who gives you the strength to succeed. The next topic the portion discusses. Moshe sets aside 3 cities of refuge on the east side of the Jordan. What are cities of refuge? If someone kills a person accidentally, without intention, he can flee to a city of refuge and be safe there. The avenger of blood, the victim's relative, cannot harm him there. Why do we need cities of refuge? Because the Torah wants to create a balance between justice and mercy. On one hand, someone who kills must pay a price. On the other hand, if it was by accident, he doesn't deserve to die. Moshe warns again and again against idolatry. Why? Because at Mount Sinai you didn't see any form or image. God spoke from within the fire, but you didn't see him in any form. It's forbidden to make idols. God warned that if the Jewish people worship idols in the land of Israel, the heavens and the earth are witnesses, they will be sent into exile from the land. But even if that happens, there is hope. Even in exile, if you return to God, he will take you back. Then Moshe emphasizes the fundamental belief of Judaism. There is none besides him. What does that mean? There is nothing in the world that exists without God. Everything depends on him. The Jewish people were privileged to have a unique experience that no other nation had to hear the voice of God directly. Moshe passed on the most important messages to the people before entering the land of Israel. He knew he will not be going with them, so he makes sure they remember the most important foundations of Jewish faith. But there's more. What does Moshe tell the people, and how are his words received? We will tell you in the next episode.